Hello friends, welcome to Prelim Guide. Today we are going to study Ethernet. What is Ethernet? Ethernet types and Ethernet connectivity. So Ethernet is a family of computer networking technologies commonly used for data transmission and connecting devices. So the major characteristics of an Ethernet there is that it is used for data transmission and to connect the devices. The devices can be routers, switch, PCs, etc. So let us consider the categories of Ethernet. So depending upon the data carrying capacity, Ethernet can be classified as Ethernet, Fast Ethernet and Gigabit Ethernet. Ethernet is having the least data carrying capacity. Fast Ethernet, it is having intermediate data carrying capacity, and Gigabit Ethernet, it is the fastest Ethernet with highest data carrying capacity. Let us consider few examples of Ethernet cables. So let us consider Ethernet cable 100 base T and 10 base F. In this 100 base T, the first number represents the data carrying capacity which is expressed in Mbps. So here it is 100 Mbps. Then base represents the signal type which is a baseband. Baseband refers to a digital signal in which data is represented in the forms of 1 and 0, and we can carry one signal at a time. Then T represents the twisted pair, that is the cable type. So 100 base T, it is a UTP Cat5 cable. UTP stands for unshielded twisted pair. Its data carrying capacity is 100 Mbps and its maximum segment length is 100 meter. So here, if uh, if we have to connect two devices which are placed at 200 meters, so we will be requiring two segments of 100 meter each, and to connect these two cables, we will be require a connector and also an amplifier. An amplifier is required because due to signal attenuation, the signal will lose its strength, and hence to regenerate the signal strength, we will require an amplifier. Let us consider another example of fast Ethernet, that is 100 base FX. So 100 represents the speed 100 Mbps, base means baseband, and FX it represents fiber optic two standard cable, and its maximum segment length is 2 km, after which we have to use a connector and an amplifier to regenerate the signal. Then Gigabit Ethernet, it is the fastest Ethernet, and example is 1000 base LX. So 1000 represents the speed, that is 1000 Mbps, then baseband, and LX represents single mode. Now let us consider connectivity with Ethernet. So to connect networking devices, we will be using a connector. So in this case, this diagram is of RJ45 connector, and then we will require some cables, either copper straight through cable or copper crossover cable. So if we consider this RJ45 diagram, so here we can observe that there are total 8 pins. Out of these 8 pins, some of the pins will be sending the data and some of the pins will be receiving the data. And depending upon the devices which we want to connect, we will be either using copper straight through or we will be using copper crossover cable. Let us consider a scenario in which we want to connect a PC with switch. So first we have to understand the pin configuration for PC and configuration for switch. So in case of the PC, pin number 12 represent the sender pin, pin number 36 represent receiver pin. In case of switch, pin number 12 represent the receiver and pin number 36 represent the sender. So in this case, directly we can connect the wires and then we can send the data. For example, PC will send the data on pin number 12, which will be received by pin number 12 of switch, and switch on pin number 36 can send the data and it will be received on pin number 36 of the PC. So directly we can make the connections, and hence we will be using copper straight through cable. Now let us consider the routers and switch. Here also the pin configuration is same. So we can connect the corresponding pins by using copper straight through cable, and simultaneous data transfer is possible in this case. Let us consider another scenario in which we have to connect PC1 and PC2. Now here the problem is that the direct connection we cannot make, because if we make the direct connections, then simultaneously data transfer is not possible, because let us consider PC1 and PC2 both are sending the data. So as pin number 12 is sending the data and pin number 12 of PC2 is sending the data will conflict, and here we will get the garbled data. So the solution to connect these two similar kind of devices is that use copper crossover cable. So as the name suggests, copper crossover, in this type of connectivity, we are going to use cross connections. So pin number 1 is crossed with pin number 3, pin number 2 is crossed with pin number 6, pin number 1 of PC2 it is connected to pin number 3 of the PC1, and so on. So this is the case with a Ethernet and fast Ethernet. If we are using the gigabit Ethernet, then to achieve the higher speed, pin number 45 will be connected to pin number 78 of PC2, and pin number 45 of PC2 will be connected to pin number 7 and 8. So in this way, we can achieve connectivity. So the conclusion is that whenever we are using the Ethernet cables, at that time, if the two devices are having different pin configurations, then we can use the copper straight cable. And when the two devices are having the same pin configuration, at that time we have to make cross connections, and this can be achieved by using copper crossover cable. Thank you, and if you like it, then please subscribe to this channel.